so we've been talking about Spain, but what about the other countries? Were they just not interested about the New World?
Actually, quite the opposite. You see, when Spain colonized the New World, a lot of the other European countries got a little bit jealous. In fact, Spain and Portugal had a huge disagreement over who owned what is now Brazil. Portugal said it was theirs, but Spain disagreed. It got so heated that both of them had to go to the Pope at the Treaty of Tordesillas, where the Pope kind of went, line, Portugal's, Spain's, problem solved.
So are we going to talk about Portugal?
No. In this video, we'll be talking about two countries who got a slow start to the New World, but as time went on, they became so infamous
Just tell
when
us
it came
what
to
it
European.
is. You like history too much. Just tell us what it is.
It's England and France.
Thank you.
Let's start with France. You see, France made many attempts at a New World colony at first. However, all of them failed miserably. That is, until France finally got a foothold in Quebec. Throughout Quebec and what is now Canada, France got involved in the fur trading business. They'd hunt beaver pelts so that they could make into popular clothing items like top hats. Boss, I think I got one. Oh, no, Pierre, that's a deer, not a beaver. Sorry, sir. It's okay, let's try this one more time. France moved on through what is now Quebec, some other parts of Canada, and even the Midwest. Meanwhile, Britain had a similar unfortunate start to New World colonies, except they even made the impressive achievement of losing an entire settlement.
Wow.
I know. Thankfully for Britain, they also managed to get a foothold in Jamestown, where they colonized the famous 13 colonies.
Okay. Wait. I know that Canada and the Midwest eventually became British colonies. What happened?
Well, you see, both France and Britain wanted to set up forts in the Ohio River Valley. It was a strategic place, and they both wanted control there. So, Britain decided to go to a young officer by the name of George Washington to solve this problem.
I know about George Washington.
Yes, George Washington became pretty famous later in his life during the American Revolution and as the United States' first president. But he actually had his start work as a young British officer. And his first assignment was to go to and claim the Ohio River Valley for Britain, or at least make sure the French couldn't get there. However, he actually did run into the French officer Jumonville, to be specific. And Jumonville didn't exactly like the idea of leaving. One small skirmish later, Jumonville was dead and France wasn't happy. This escalated into the 7 Years' War, which obviously lasted 9 years.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But in America, we know it as the French and Indian War.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
By the end of the French and Indian War, Britain had won, and France had to cede all of their New World territory to Britain. And that's why Britain eventually got colonial territory in the Midwest, and why Canada became a British colony and is still part of the British Commonwealth.
That makes sense.
Yeah. This may seem like a huge victory for Britain, but wars cost lots of money. And after spending so much money, Britain had to raise taxes in the colonies to get more money back, which started the American Revolution.
Oof.
Yeah. But that's the video. Hope you liked it. And if you did, make sure to subscribe, leave a like. And if you still have nothing better to do than stare at a screen, why don't you watch one of these videos?